Hi there, Chris van der Kerk here at Bluerhino Safaris. Let me go through the 2020 Gonarezhou tour with you and just quickly tell you what Rezhou is all about. Gonarezhou in Shona means the place of the elephants, so lots of elephants in the area. And the park was closed during the Rhodesian War and also the Mozambican War, and then in 1994 it reopened to the public. So it's still a very wild area, still a place that nobody really visits. The 4x4 community started visiting there, but the camps are really nice. The park is very spectacular because it's quite unique as far as what it has to offer. Let's first talk about where is Gonarezhou. Gonarezhou is in the southern corner of Zimbabwe, where South Africa, Mozambique and Zimbabwe meets. And there's a very interesting geological fact about the area. If you come down from Malawi, there's a mountain range that basically runs from south of the Zambezi down in the Tet area. It runs on the border of Zimbabwe, on the eastern border, and then it runs down through the old Swaziland, past Lesotho, Drakensberg and into East London. And this mountain range is the divide of the water, the watershed, where the water to the west in South Africa, the water to the west goes to the Atlantic Ocean, and the water on the east side of the Drakensberg falls to the Indian Ocean. And this watershed has been a permanent barrier to any inland water to go out. The first place that it could exit the central parts of Africa was through the Zambezi. But this bottom section created a spot for themselves in the area today that we know as the Limpopo area. So the Limpopo started making a breakthrough here at Pafuri, and then you have the Nwanetsi, the Rundi, the Savi, they all broke through in this area. So there's two major rivers that flows through Gonarezhou. The one is the Rundi River and the other one is the Savi River. And to the southern border you have the Nwanetsi and the Limpopo. So the park itself is river rich. The rivers are not deep, it's typical shallow sand rivers, and in the time that we go there won't be any flooding. So it's an interesting area to visit for that reason. That's why you have nice cliffs in the area, just because there's so much water activity that washed away certain areas, and you have a really nice geological formations in the area. If you remember, just after 2000, in 2003 thereabout, there was a Mozambican lady that gave birth in a tree during a flood. That was just on the southern side in Mozambique of this park. So there's a lot of significance around this area, history and where it comes from and what it's been involved in, the Mozambican War, the Rhodesian War. So the park itself has quite a rich history just with regards to that. Other than that, a small park, nice campsites, very much wilderness-like. So it's a lot like the Kagalagadi and Central Kalahari, but just on the eastern side of Africa. So slightly more tropical, slightly more green, if you can say it. So the plan for the trip basically is to sleep in Kruger National Park for the first night. We cross through Pafuri, we drive up alongside the Zim border, and at Chikwalakwala we go in. We sleep our second night inside the southern Gonarezhou National Park on the Nwanetsi River, which is a lovely area, nice big trees, lovely. It's really, it feels like you're in a real old bush. And then we travel north, and we go north for 3 nights next to the Rundi River. The Rundi River itself is up here, very nice scenes as you go down, elephants that come and drink water, the red cliffs. For lunch on one of the days we will drive up to the top of the hill and we will have lunch on top of the Chiloja cliffs overlooking the plains, which is one of the most awesome views that you can have. We'll come down the other side, cross the river, stop for coffee, and then the other day we will drive down to the confluence, through the central green area to the Savi River, down to the confluence area, visit this dam which always has nice animals around. We'll stop there for coffee, back to our campsite. So for that we do for 3 nights, and then once we're done we go back south to the main camp area. And once we are finished in the main camp area, the last day we exit back through Pafuri and down into the Kruger National Park. And ultimately we'll end up at something like Letaba or something in the center of the Kruger Park. From there you can stay a few days extra, or you can go back home. Doesn't really matter. So that is the detail of it. If you look at the data, 21st September we meet in Kruger Park, so you have to be there on the 21st in Puna Maria. It's 7 nights that we'll be away. Have your food and your fuel for 7 nights. You only need a 4x4 with low range. We're crossing riverbeds, so it's going to be sandy. You can bring something to tow. Trailers would typically be very welcome, no problem with them. Small caravans, if you go bigger caravans, you have to have a proper towing vehicle that can tow the caravan through sandy areas. So not a problem, done that a million times. Price is 7,500 Rand per person at the exchange rate of 14.5 Rand to the US dollar. The Rand is not doing so great at the moment, but it's still a year away. And if we have to adjust, we'll adjust on that one. 1,650 k's from Johannesburg back to Johannesburg, so it's a nice short route. And it really is going to be a lovely tour. I didn't do this tour last year, and I was constantly looking at what am I missing, something is not here, and ultimately I realized that Gonarezhou was not there. This is me 6-7 years back with my Mazda crossing the Limpopo River. So as you can see, if there's any water in the river, it's fairly shallow, so not a big problem at all. Some of the pictures you'll see on the website: Chiloja Cliffs on that side, tree of a poacher. He was there for 7 years. They couldn't find him. I'll take you to the tree. Lovely campsites. There you can see the cliffs in the background. This is one of our campsites, and another picture of the camp. Itineraries on the website, the map with the 7 nights on the website, as well as the basic detail. If you want to go, I'm only going to take 5, maximum 6 vehicles. Otherwise I'm going to run out of space as far as camping goes, and I like to keep it a nice, close, exclusive trip. It really is special. It's nice, it's relaxing. If you enjoy Kagalagadi or Central Kalahari, you'll definitely will enjoy this one as well. It's a really nice tour. So let me know if you're interested to go, and we can make a plan. Drive safe. Cheers.